Okay, faithful viewers, it's time to find the Yummy Noob crash site. So this is definitely twisty. We'll make a pass and then I'll stop and talk. Just to let you know, this is going to be the 4th pass I've made on this. Most, if not all, are blind curves. I'm looking for the vanishing point to open up before I cut in for my apex. And I'm doing this all in 4th gear, like the California Superbike School, allowing you to use the engine as the brake. I want to preface this by saying I'm not monetizing this video. I'm not putting Yummy Noob's name in the title or in the search tags. I know we're looking at the location where Yummy crashed, but that's not what this is about. This is about choices. The choices you make riding on the street. And how hard you're going to rail a twisty. Now the first question is, you come up on a twisty. Have you ever been there before? Did you pre-ride it at a reasonable speed before you decided to try to chew off too much? So it does pose the question of Yummy's psychological view, or anyone's psychological view, and wants to push things so hard. Now I'm going to take a trip back and I'm going to go nice and easy, and I'm going to discuss a true racing line. A racing line you could take on the racetrack. Well, you can't do that on the street. In countries where we drive on the right-hand side of the road, you have a hard left-hander. To take the proper race line to carry the speed that you think you can carry, you have to cross over the yellow line. And, oh, by the way, into potential oncoming traffic, which doesn't happen on the track. I'm not going to be a fanboy for the track. I've done track days. I highly recommend them. It's a safe way to learn technique and high speed. But right now we're talking about choices on the street and how hard you're going to push it. So, if you're going to take a street line and not cross over the yellow line, well, you may have to back off a little. And also, I mean, look around. There are no outs. I mean, rock walls, cedar trees, posts, and electrical, fire hydrants. Also, let's be real here, okay? Ultimately, I am talking to you guys. I seriously have yet to hear of a lady rider who pushed it too hard and crashed of their own accord. Let's go and head back, and I'll discuss the racing line that you would take on a track and why it becomes dangerous if you try that on the street. Right off the bat, I can see that my true racing line, I would turn in right about here and cross into the other lane. By the way, that oil spot is the spot where his bike came to rest. Again, right here, I would be crossing into the lane right about there. There you go. Now you can still run an interesting, a fun, a good line and stay in your lane. And I believe it's Kenny Roberts that said, slow in, fast out. So many of the accidents occur when you carry too much speed into the corner. Thank you. Gently roll the speed on. You have to become a violinist with your throttle. The old saying, a man's got to know his limitations. And he's got to accept them too. There's nothing wrong with that. You know? You build up your skills by practice, not by ego. Throttle control. Don't get nervous and chop the throttle. That's why the setup of your entry speed is so critical. You do not want to find out halfway through the turn you carried too much speed, you suddenly cut the throttle, allowing those fear triggers to do exactly the opposite of what should be happening. Start to the outside, the vanishing point appears, you come across to hit your apex, your clipping point. After the clipping point, you want to accelerate gently to pull the bike through the remainder of the corner. You got to make choices about how hard you're going to push it. I'm not the best rider in the world. I know it. I'm okay with it. Don't go fast. Become fast. Once again, in fourth gear, outside, inside, outside. Now I've got to prep for this next one. So outside, inside, to the outside. You have a responsibility to yourself. You know, as a street rider, your job is to get home in one piece. You have a responsibility to other people. If you're pushing at 80% or above your skill level, you're just surviving, or not. Hello, vultures. Let's go home.
And that concludes our broadcast day.
Like and subscribe.